Hey everybody, so today I thought it would be really cool to show some of the obscure rocks that I collected on my trip to Montana this past summer. If you remember, I did a couple of videos where I went out hunting with Theo Kellison, and it was awesome that Theo took me out on the Yellowstone. He also took me up into the Montana mountains, did some rock hounding. But I actually did some rock hounding on my own as well, and I came across some of the material you'll see here on my bench. I'm going to show you what it is. I got to visit a mine site there. I can't disclose the mine site location because it was part of my work trip. Some of this material came from that mine. So I'm going to go through some of this material now. The first little bit I wanted to show you was this soapstone, which came from southern Montana, and it's really awesome material. Obviously feels really soapy. You can carve this very easily. I actually gave Theo I collected a huge, probably 30-pound chunk of this, probably bigger than that actually, huge, and I gave it to Theo. He can do a project on maybe in the future. Soapstone, you can find it in Montana. Really nice material. It's also called talc. People call it talc, but talc is essentially soapstone. So that's cool. Got a bunch of that. This material is really awesome. This is the same material here. This is dolomitic marble, and basically like a really marbleized dolostone. And the cool thing about this rock is that this is some of the oldest material in the world. This rock here is about 2 billion years old. And yeah, it's just really cool. Lots of, you can see a big old calcite or dolomite crystal there. It's a dolomite crystal. But you got this marbleized material here. Really cool. I'm going to cut some of this maybe today. See what that looks like. Cut. But it polishes really well from what I'm told. And this is just a lower grade version. This is a really high grade version, and this is a lower grade version of it. But I'm going to cut both pieces and see how it polishes up. This I also collected at the same spot. The cool thing about this is the reason why I picked it up. It's basically ash, but it's ash. It's from an ash layer that comes from the last eruption of the Yellowstone supervolcano, which I thought was awesome. So, you know, this is about, I think I was told it's like 50 million years old or something like that. But, you know, at the spot I was at, there's this, you could see it, just a big, thick layer of this stuff. And it covered most of the landscape. And yeah, that's what it is. Ash from the last supervolcano eruption from the Yellowstone volcano. So I brought that home, had to have a piece of it. Really cool. And this material is banded iron formation. And Theo Kellison actually gifted this to me. He collected this, I think, in western Montana. If you're watching this, Theo, correct me if I'm wrong. The cool thing about this is most of the banded iron formation that I've seen that we have in Canada is red. Like the magnetite, you'll have that, but the jasper will be red. And this has yellow jasper and really thin bands of it. So I'm actually going to cut some of this today on my slab saw. And we're going to take a look at this, see what it looks like, and probably prep some pieces for my tumbler. But just to give you a comparison of what, you know, our banded iron formation looks like here in Canada in most of our spots. Here's our banded iron formation. You see this thick layer of jasper and then the hematite. And then you have this one from Montana, which is super thin, yellow. So really cool. So I'm going to cut the dolomite and the banded iron formation. We're not going to touch these ones because I want to leave these specimens as is. So we'll head over to the saw now, cut them up, and see what they look like. right, let's take a look at these Montana rocks that we cut. So first, the dolomitic marble. That turned out really cool. See, there's these little... So a lot of this is dolomite, but there are quartz layers in here. The quartz is on the top. You'll see some quartz crystals on the outside, but it's like dolomite, little dolomite fibers there. The white, the really white stuff. And then you got the dolomite streak of red running through there. Very nice material. Might try to make a little cab out of that. If I could capture some of those sprays, those dolomite sprays, in with the red, I think that would look really sharp. So I'm going to see if I can do that. Next, I wanted to show some of the banded iron formation, and this stuff looked really cool. Almost looks like there's mini faults in there. Like you can see where some of the bands of iron formation kind of are misaligned. Almost looks like mini faults. This one's predominantly hematite. There's not a lot of yellow jasper in this one. But the other one we cut, which is this one, there was quite a bit of yellow jasper. This one kind of broke off, but a lot more yellow jasper in this than in the other piece. So this is actually really nice tumbling material. I'm going to cut this up a little more and stick it in the tumbler. So next up we have this lower grade piece of marble, and what's really cool about this slab that I cut is that right here I have some metallic mineral from the looks of it. And, you know, the color, I don't know, maybe it's pyrite, maybe it's marcasite, I'm not sure. On this side, you can see a little pocket of druzy starting, so I'm wondering if it's got anything to do with that. But what made me think, you know, since we don't know what this metallic mineral is, let's take a closer look at it. I thought it'd be really a good candidate to look under the macro lens. So let's get our macro lens out and take a look and see what this metallic mineral is. Okay, I've attached my APEXEL PhoneMicro 5 macro lens to my phone. And if you want to see how that's done, I have another video I'll link here that shows how to set that up in the upper right hand corner of the video. Basically, it's a little macro lens attachment that can go on the lens of your phone, and this is what you can see when you attach it. I'm over the piece of dolomite right now, and as you can see, I've got it centered over those metallic looking bits. I'm at about a little over 200 times zoom right now, and I'm going to go to 1,000 times zoom here in a minute, but we're going to look at the piece dry. It's dry right now, and then we're going to look at it wet. So I'm going to zoom in. I can't really tell what it is right now. I'm going to zoom in to about 1,000 times zoom here. So there, we're at 1,000 times zoom there, and that doesn't look metallic to me. That looks like something else, probably mica. But yeah, that's definitely not looking metallic now that we've zoomed in. But still, it's got that shiny luster, that metallic luster to it, which, you know, most of the time ends up being like a muscovite mica or something. But really cool. We're getting zoomed in here on the reds as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this wet, and then we're going to take a look at it wet under the same magnification. So let's do that. All right, so here we are wet at 200 times zoom. And as you can see, definitely not looking metallic now. But it does have that metallic luster. Let's zoom in to 1,000 times now. That's interesting right there. What is that? Almost like a little tiny crystal right there. That's pretty cool. That's probably like a dolomite crystal or something. Really, really small one that we've gotten right on top of. That's neat. What's gonna really be cool is we're gonna cut out a pennant right over this cluster of mica and marble, and then we're gonna see what it looks like polished up. You can see lots of tiny crystals in there. So I'm interested to see how this polishes up. It's marble, so it should polish up pretty good. There might be some softer spots where this mica is where it probably won't polish as good, but we'll see. So I'm thinking like right a nice little oval or circle right here. We'll just make a little cab out of it. See how it shines up. So let's get started on that now. So here's our cab out of that dolomitic marble. And I tried to get the cab right on top of that mica, that gold flaky mica. And yeah, it came out good. You can see it takes a really good shine. It's hard to get it to focus with that light. But yeah, you can see why people like marble as countertop. It takes a really nice shine. But like I said, this is a lower grade kind of marble. If anybody wants this, I'll put it up on the Etsy store for really cheap. If anybody wants to buy it, I'll include a couple bezels as well to fit it. A couple different color ones, maybe a silver one and a gold one. I'll include it in. I won't put it in the bezel. I'll leave it up to the buyer if they want to do it. But this will be up on the Etsy store. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed these Montana rocks. A little different than your normal Yellowstone agates and jaspers, and these are kind of different things you can find in Montana. Beautiful nonetheless. All had a cool story behind them. I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one.